Greetings, Yui Emperor here. Recently, I've started a series of guides on how to successfully run a 5-man team. In the introduction video, I mentioned that every member must be self-sufficient in terms of gear, meds, and ammo. And before I continue with the 5-man mindset and procedures, I need to elaborate on how an individual can prepare himself in order to be so. I will be explaining the process I go through when equipping myself for a raid, and how I gauge what I'll need. First, a little disclaimer. While I've seen a lot of success for both myself and others using this procedure, keep in mind that this might not suit everybody, and so further customization may be needed. Making sure you are comfortable with your kit is your #1 priority. Anything less and you'll suffer. Now, while this guide is not necessarily made for newbies, those with basic Tarkov knowledge can benefit in gauging how much equipment they need to bring as part of their standard loadout. Okay, so quick overview. The concept of being self-sufficient revolves around the mindset of going into a raid without the need of scavenging for resources related to combat, medical, or sustenance. That does not mean more valuable or useful tools you come across are useless, but that they are rendered redundant due to already having all your needs met. The golden standard is to have enough meds and ammo for 2 separate firefights, and enough food and water to last you the raid. Now, having too much can sometimes be excessive, but having too little can have dire consequences. A few examples. Having too few medical items may lead in medical emergencies, like not having a way to dress a heavy bleed because you don't have a tourniquet, or having 2 heavy bleeds and only 1 tourniquet, or falling from a certain height and having both your legs broken and no splints to heal them, or not having painkillers or surgical kits and having a blacked out stomach, and have to exit a raid quickly due to the lack of energy and hydration. Another dire situation when you don't bring enough ammo, whether in loaded magazines or spare, and you get into situations like not having enough mags to finish off a PMC, or you do manage to take down one, but guess what, there's always one more. Or not having enough ammo after a huge fight to continue with your objectives, and needing you to switch to a gun that you're potentially not comfortable with, if you even have any. And last but not least, not bringing in food and water might just be a mere nuisance in just having to find it in raid, or it can be an early grave due to your stomach getting blacked out and you not finding any sustenance in time. Again, to remind you, what I'm doing here is just an equipment check. I am not going to talk about which piece of gear is better or anything of the sort. All of that is irrelevant. This is a list you need to take into consideration before each raid, and it goes as such. Number 1. Armor. Personal protection, whether standalone or part of a rig, is super important. Any armor is better than none, as you are going to get engaged. Same goes for helmets. No discussion whether or not it's effective, better to have any armor than not. End of story. Keep in mind though, that different situations and raid profiles might require different protection and weight levels. You don't want to get caught in the shoreline's open fields with a cumbersome armor, for example. Number 2. Ear protection and face covers. There is no reason why you wouldn't benefit from their advantages unless your helmet prevents it. Number 3. Containers. Load-bearing vests are a must in order to carry a standard combat load, and a backpack is always useful. That said, keep your mission profile in mind and equip accordingly. Number 4. Medical items. Depending on your budget and level, you may have access to more efficient or alternative equipment. But the general rule is 2 of each. 2 splints, 2 tourniquets, 2 bandages, and 2 healing items of a total around 5 to 600 HP. Finally, a surgical kit and some form of painkiller. Having that amount of medical equipment will allow you to survive at least 2 normal engagements or a single heavy medical emergency. If you're afraid of investing that much money in medical items, remember that you can store some of them in your secure container. A personal note here, although I may be high enough in level to sport high level and efficiency medical items, I usually buy cheap level 1 stuff that I keep out of my container, therefore minimizing some of my losses. Number 5. Your weapon and its ammo. As with armor, there will be many factors into choosing your weapon and the amount of ammo. But as a standard, let's take a normal assault rifle. I will be bringing 4 full 30 round mags and 1 to 2 stacks of loose ammo in my secure container. Number 6. Food and water. When it comes to sustenance, I make sure to refill inraid at around 50% of my energy and hydration levels. If it's shorter, then I opt for a quick snack like milk. Number 7. Extra equipment. I always carry a compass and a rangefinder in the special slots. They cost nothing and they're super useful to organize with people, especially newer players. I also make sure to have a nade with me for utility, as well as carry NVGs at night. Then, number 8, special equipment. That is anything you'll need to complete a mission, like IR markers, jammers, and Wi-Fi cameras. Make sure you make a list of what you'll need and equip it before going in. Now that you have everything in your inventory, the second step is to dedicate some keybinds to specific actions. Briefly put, my setup is as follows. Number 4 is always my HP recovery item, whatever it may be. Number 5 is my tourniquet or heavy bleed item. Number 5 plus control is my bandage or light bleed item. Number 6 is my quick painkiller item, like the cheap 4-stack painkillers. Control 3 is my grenade, Control 4 is my compass, and Control 2 is my rangefinder. Now, this might be a bit confusing, but let me explain. What I've done is I've changed the keybinds of quick slot numbers 7 to 0 to the above keybinds, aka Control plus numbers 2 to 5. This way, I don't have to move my hand from its normal resting place, and I'm able to use all of the quick slot keys. Now, these checklist and keybinds I do not intend to force upon you. I'm only suggesting the concept. It is a concept born from a mindset focused on having everything you need before you need it in order to have a better chance at surviving when you do. And once you get your optimal loadout and quick slots, you will start being a lot more confident and able, because equipment manipulation will become mechanical, thoughtless. You won't need to remember where each item is and which key to press, which leads into more fluid gameplay. But as with everything I'll be showcasing here, it will only benefit you if you make it a habit. So again, once more, the list goes like so. Number 1, armor, whether standalone or part of a rig, and a helmet too. Number 2, ear protection and face covers. Number 3, containers. That means load-bearing vests and backpacks. Number 4, medical items, 2 of most items. Number 5, your weapon and around 4 magazines depending. Number 6, food and water. Number 7, extra equipment like compass, rangefinder, grenades, NVGs, and so on. Number 8, special equipment, IR markers, jammers, any quest item you'll need. If you do this every time before a raid, you should be able to avoid some really sad situations in your Escape from Tarkov or other applicable game journeys. I hope this guide was useful, and if it was, please share it around and help more people out. If it wasn't, let me know in the comments what I can do better. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Yui Emperor, out.